being swept under the carpet and nobody's calling it out. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to call it out. John Fury is a disgrace. What he's doing is bringing boxing into disrepute. It's disgusting and terrible that people will be watching this fight, the biggest fight in...
Carl Froch and John Fury appear to have a pattern of exchanging words around Tyson Fury's fights. While John Fury has remained unusually quiet this time, Carl Froch has taken the lead, firing a jab at him. Froch criticized John for his silence following Tyson's loss, suggesting that a fighting man like him isn't typically so quiet. The back and forth between the two adds another layer of drama to the Fury camp.
The press conference, and there's been one thing missing in the build-up. Big John Fury, the fighting man, on the hard road. That man has gone.
Carl Froch didn't hold back, calling Tyson Fury a disgrace to British boxing and an incompetent fighter who lost to a cruiserweight despite his size advantage. Froch, joined by his training partner Tony Bellew, trolled Fury, mocking his previous claims of dominance. Bellew added that if he had Fury's size, he'd destroy everyone, highlighting Fury's failure to meet expectations despite his physical edge.
20 stone and 6'9". I've told you what I'd do. I'd fucking invade Russia. But I'm not that big and I'm not that heavy. So, like, I don't know if I could ever lose if I was that big.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch, speaking from ringside, shared on his YouTube channel that he believed the right man won the fight.
You could have never said that Fury won that fight. So there's no complaints other than Bricktop at ringside. But like I said, he's got one eye on the prize, hasn't he? But let's be honest, the right...
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch shared his detailed assessment of the fight, aligning his score with all three judges. He described it as a close contest, especially during the early rounds. From round 1 to 6 or 7, the fight ebbed and flowed, with Froch alternating rounds between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. He admitted there were moments where it was tough to separate them, particularly over 3 to 5 rounds that felt incredibly even. However, Froch identified a turning point around round 7. He observed Usyk getting closer and more effective as Fury began to tire, a development Froch had anticipated. While the fight remained competitive, the most eye-catching shots came from Usyk, which likely swayed the judges.
Usyk did the job this evening, got the win and retained his titles in what was a pretty intriguing fight that kind of had you sitting there watching with you. I wasn't mesmerised, but I was interested for
Froch also commented on Frank Warren's claims of a robbery, attributing his perspective to emotional bias as Fury's promoter. Ultimately, Froch concluded that Usyk deserved the win, scoring the fight 4 to 5 rounds in Usyk's favor, consistent with the official decision.
Usyk worked, but the eye-catching shots ultimately came from Oleksandr Usyk, who is a different class in it. He's just a class above, because when you consider the weight and...
John Fury has always been a larger-than-life figure in British boxing, but his recent actions and the fallout from Tyson Fury's loss to Oleksandr Usyk have sparked intense criticism. While John has remained silent in the immediate aftermath of his son's defeat, many speculate he won't stay quiet for long after being accused of tarnishing British boxing's reputation. Such accusations may provoke a fiery response from the elder Fury, known for his outspoken personality.
Tyson probably knows that actually, listen, Dad, you've got your best intentions at heart. You want me to win, you want me to do the business. But do me a favour, stay out. Fury just sits back, keeps his mouth shut, watches his son and wills him on to win. Maybe he's in the camp, maybe he's helping him and just keeping the distance and letting the real trainers do the job. But yeah, no Big John Fury, I missed him. Where's John? Where's Big John?
Tyson Fury's loss to Oleksandr Usyk marked a significant moment in his career, a blemish on an otherwise stellar record. Critics argue that the defeat exposed Tyson's vulnerabilities despite his towering height and weight advantage. While Tyson himself seemed focused on moving forward, speculation about potential changes within his camp began to circulate. Talks of removing John Fury from Tyson's corner gained traction as some fans and analysts questioned his impact on Tyson's preparation and strategy. Despite this chatter, Tyson was quick to shut down any talk of drastic changes. When asked about his strategy for the much-anticipated rematch against Usyk, he remained steadfast, emphasizing continuity. "I know what I've got to do," he said. "Nothing drastic. People can say, I want to change trainers. I'll blame it on my conditioning coach, or the cook, or even the mouse next door. But it's the same team, same everything." While Tyson focused on his rematch, John Fury found himself at the center of controversy yet again. His behavior at the Tommy Fury versus Darren Till press event drew widespread criticism. The press conference, intended to spotlight Tommy and Till, spiraled into chaos when John disrupted proceedings. Initially civil, the event turned heated when John began squirting water at Till, provoking a confrontation that required security to intervene. This behavior left many questioning John's role and intentions. Critics accused him of seeking attention rather than allowing the spotlight to remain on the fighters. At the end of the day, it's not about him. It's about Darren Till and Tommy Fury, said one observer. Why is Big John Fury, the so-called fighting man, getting involved? He's a guy who has never achieved anything significant in the ring. His son Tyson is obviously a top fighter, but John seems more focused on grabbing headlines for himself. As Tyson Fury ramps up his training for the highly anticipated rematch against Usyk, questions about John's role loom large. Tyson's first professional loss to the Ukrainian in May was a shock to his camp and fans alike. Now, as he prepares to even the score, Tyson has made it clear that he doesn't intend to deviate from his trusted approach. However, the elder Fury's recent actions have overshadowed Tyson's preparation. Critics argue that John's behavior could become a distraction, particularly if he continues to draw negative attention to himself and the Fury name. Opinions on John Fury remain polarized. Supporters view him as a passionate figure who genuinely cares for his son's careers, while detractors see him as a disruptive force. His critics point to incidents like the press event fracas and his tendency to dominate the narrative, often at the expense of the fighters he's meant to support. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury seems unfazed by the noise surrounding his father. His focus remains firmly on the rematch, with a clear understanding of what went wrong in the first fight. Usyk, known for his technical prowess and conditioning, exposed gaps in Fury's game, particularly as the fight wore on. Tyson appeared to tire in the later rounds, allowing Usyk to capitalize with cleaner, more impactful shots. The path forward for the Fury camp is fraught with challenges. While Tyson prepares to reclaim his position at the top, the question of John Fury's involvement remains a hot topic. Can John rein in his fiery personality and focus on supporting his son, or will his antics continue to overshadow Tyson's efforts? For now, Tyson Fury has chosen stability, sticking with his team and approach. Whether that decision pays off in the rematch remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the Fury name will remain in the spotlight, for better or worse, as the countdown to the rematch with Usyk continues. John Fury's role in the saga will undoubtedly remain a point of contention, but Tyson's performance in the ring will ultimately determine whether the Fury camp can silence their critics and restore their reputation in British boxing.